Hello students, so welcome to the class. Today we are going to study the next topic of our chapter, how do organisms reproduce. In this topic we are going to study about the sexual reproduction in the flowering plants, or you can say sexual reproduction, how does it occur in the flowering plants. So let us see that. Before that, let us see one thing, that the reproductive organs or reproductive parts remains in a flower of any of the flowering plant. So for that purpose, let us see first what is the structure of a flower and how flower is designed for the reproduction purpose and how it gets its protection. So let us start. Let us see first about the structure of a flower. So as you know that in sexual reproduction, in any of the sexual reproduction process, there are the two parents required. One is male and the other one is female, in which there is fusion of male and female gametes which results to the zygote. Whereas in this process only, the gametes which have formed, they are the haploid, and the zygote which is there, it is diploid. So basically there is a fusion of two haploid gametes to give birth to the diploid cell, which is your zygote. So in this case also we'll see the two different parts, two different sexes, one is male and the other one is female. So we'll see that. Before that, let me tell you one thing, that there are two different types of flowers in our environment. One type of flower is called bisexual and the other one is called unisexual. Bisexual flowers are those flowers which bears male and female both the gametes. So these are the bisexual, for example hibiscus and mustard. Whereas the flowers who bear just any one of the sex gamete or one of the sex present in it. For example, if a flower is having only male gamete in it or a male reproductive part in it, it is going to be the unisexual. Okay. So the same way, if a plant is there whose a single plant body is having only female reproductive parts, then that is also going to be the unisexual flower, right? So that kind of examples are like the watermelon, like papaya. In papaya you can see one total plant who is having only flowers and flowers, it never fruits, that is the male plant. Whereas by the other hand you can see a plant which is having flowers but it fruits too, so that one is the female plant. Alright, so now it is clear to you, unisexual and bisexual. Now let us see the example of this flower, the structure of it, how it is designed. A flower is completed only because of the four whorls. So a flower is basically having four whorls which completes it out. One of its whorl is of the sepals, second is of petals, third one is of male gamete which includes anther and filament called stamen, and the fourth whorl of it is the stigma, style and ovary which includes the female reproductive part. So a flower is having all these four whorls. If it is having all these four whorls, it's a complete flower. Except the case of the bisexual one. Okay. This part of flower is having a stalk, and this stalk helps it to stand or to stay at one position on the stem, right? It gives a proper exile it to stand on the stem. Then after, it is having a swollen part which bears or holds the ovary of a female reproductive part. This swollen part is called as thalamus. Now when you will move upward from thalamus, you will see some green leafy structures which are actually to do protection or to give protection to the buds of flower. That green section is called as a sepal. So this is a sepal. Now if you will see just one leafy structure, that is called as a sepal, but if you will count all its wall, all its around wall, the green leafy part, that is altogether going to be called as a calyx. Next, just after this calyx, when you will move, you will see colorful parts of a flower, which are the petals. So if you will see just single one petal, it is going to be the petal. But if you will talk about all its sections, all the beautiful petals, they are going to be called as corolla. These are actually meant to attract the pollinators. So because of this, they are also provided so many different colors. So because of so bright color, bright attractive colors, the pollinators are attracted towards it so that they can pollinate well. Then after this, you will see inside a flower there is some structure like this, which is actually a bilobed structure, and it is attached with the stalk. So this upper part, upper section is called as a anther, and to which it is attached is called as a filament. Both are together called as a stamen, and this one is a male reproductive part of a flower. Okay, so this is a male reproductive part of a flower. So what is male reproductive part of a flower? Anther and filament, which is together called as a stamen. Okay, moving to the next, this you can see in the middle section, this upper part of this long filament kind of a structure is called as stigma. Stigma is the place where pollen lands, and then after it releases the male gamete from it. So this stigma is the place where pollen gets interacted with the female reproductive parts at one place. Okay, so after this it gets down to the ovary. So this is your stigma. This stigma is having long tubular structure, and this long tubular structure is called style. This style is meant to navigate the male gamete which has been released from the pollen. Okay, so this is the stigma section. When you will come down towards the stigma, again you will see a swollen part, and this swollen part of this flower is called as ovary. So this plant is having one ovary, but inside this one ovary there are a number of ovules present here. Now these ovules are going to give the egg cell. Alright, so these are the different parts, different structures of a flower. Let us see this again. This part is called stalk, which holds the flower on the stem. Its upper part is swollen, which is called a thalamus, is responsible for holding the ovary. Then after, when you will see upward, a green leafy structure is present. Singular, it is called a sepal, but when you will talk plural, it is going to be the calyx. Just upward to it, there are the colorful petals. When you will talk singular, it is going to be the petal, but when you will talk all about it, they are going to be the corolla. There is a male reproductive part in a flower, which is called anther and filament. Together they are the stamen. This is the female reproductive part, which is stigma, where pollen lands. A long tubular structure style then connects to the ovary. All together they are called as a pistil. So stigma, style, ovary, together they are the pistil, and this pistil is the female reproductive part. When you will see inside the ovary, there are the lot of ovules present, which are responsible for giving egg cells. So this is the structure of a flower which is going to do the sexual reproduction further. So hope this is clear to you. Further, next we'll see about the each and every reproductive organ of a reproductive part of a flower. So thank you for watching the video.